Hello everybody, Joe Clone here, back again with another LEGO Marvel minifigure review video. If you guys have watched my channel, you know that I love putting together iconic Marvel teams in LEGO minifigure form. And guess what? Today we have an entirely new Marvel team in LEGO minifigure form. And who is that? Today I will be reviewing my new LEGO Marvel custom Inhuman minifigures. Oh yes, the Inhumans are easily one of the most iconic Marvel teams in the Marvel comics. I was going to say the Marvel Universe, but they aren't in the movies yet, although we did see a Black Bolt in live action. I didn't really like that version of him in live action, but it's all good because we have them in LEGO. I actually think they're in the LEGO Marvel Superheroes games, so kind of weird that we haven't got some of these guys officially in any sets yet, but who knows what the future holds. These customs are all by Engineerio.com, where I've been getting a lot of comic book Marvel characters in LEGO. His customs are out of this world. I'm just so happy with these minifigures and all the minifigures I get from him. Like, look at these guys. They're amazing. They're printed on all official LEGO parts, so it's basically like having official LEGO minifigures for these Marvel characters. But we're going to break down every member of the Inhuman royal family that we have in front of us right here. So let's get into it. And I always stall the breakdown. I just wanted to give you a little backstory about the Inhumans and who they are, in case you have no idea who these guys are or what I'm even talking about. What is an Inhuman? Inhumans originally were humans taken by the Kree and experimented on. They're almost like space mutants, to be completely honest. And they were mutated by the Terrigen Mist, which is like a space crystal in the Marvel Universe, and their mutation is called Terrigenesis, and that's how you make an Inhuman. And the Kree were making these Inhumans to basically be their own super soldiers, sort of like Weapon X, but to be their own super soldiers to fight against the Skrulls, because the Kree hate the Skrulls. They ultimately all rebelled against the Kree and became their own sort of society of species of living things. So yeah, that's basically who or what an Inhuman is in the Marvel Universe. And now that we've gone through that, let's break down the Inhuman royal family, which are the most iconic Inhumans in the Marvel Universe. And to stall it even more, let me just show you a quick picture of the Inhumans just before we break down all the minifigures, just because I want you to see how accurate these customs are. Now, let's finally get into the minifigures. Alright, so up first, I'm going to try and go through this quick because, again, some of you guys might not even know who these characters are, so I'm going to say like their powers and just a little bit about them before I break down the minifigure. So up first, we have Karnak, and Karnak has superhuman strength, speed, reflexes, stamina. He could actually shatter most objects with his fists. Honestly, I'm going to be making a lot of comparisons to other Marvel superheroes. He's like a space Iron Fist in sort of his fighting style. He's also a master of martial arts, one of the best hand-to-hand combat fighters in the entire galaxy. And honestly, his biggest power is he could detect weaknesses in enemies, structures, and even like plans. So he's a master strategist. Yeah, that's basically Karnak. One of my favorite Inhumans, to be honest. He's pretty cool in the comics, but this minifigure is just amazing. The head print, the torso print, legs, it's just fantastic. And like I said, I don't want to repeat myself, but printed all on official LEGO parts, so it's basically like having an official LEGO minifigure. We have some arm printings and printing on the back. It's just fantastic. It looks exactly how Karnak looks in his classic comic book outfit. He sort of changes a little bit, looking wise, but this is the OG look that Karnak always has, and just an awesome minifigure. I'm gonna be saying that like for all of these throughout the reviews, so I'm sorry about that. But now that we've gone over Karnak, let's move on to the next Inhuman. And the next Inhuman is Triton. And like I said, we've been making a lot of comparisons. Triton, in my best description, is basically the space Namor. Literally that. Superhuman strength, speed, stamina, can breathe underwater, hence what I just said, space Namor. Can move extremely quickly underwater. Can withstand deep sea depth pressure. Like I said, exactly like Namor. He can also see in the dark, skilled at martial arts, highly acrobatic, and he's also highly skilled with knives. So Triton is very cool. Honestly, if I'm gonna be honest, whenever the Inhumans show up in the comics, I highly enjoy their appearance. So I really love all these characters, and I'm just so happy to have them in LEGO. But like I said, he's basically Space Namor. He's actually big rivals with Namor in the comics, going back way back. So pretty cool that him and Namor actually fight. But this minifigure print-wise is honestly probably one of the best out of all of them here, because it's just head to toe, and he's just green and scaly, because that's how he looks in the comics. The torso print is fantastic. The leg print, toe print, amazing. Got some scales on the arms there, so awesome. The back print is really good as well. Even on the other arms from printing, we even have some back head printing, which is just awesome because he has like a dorsal fin, so we actually see it printed on the back of the head there. So cool. And the face print is just awesome. This is just such a great custom minifigure. That's Triton. Let's move on to the next Inhuman. And up next, we have Gorgon, the military leader of the Inhumans. Gorgon is a beast. He's 6'7", 485 pounds. Like, he's actually the blood cousin to Black Bolt. And his thing is superhuman strength. He has immense strength. He can lift up to 10 tons. Sort of, if I were to compare him to he's sort of Rhino Juggernaut-ish, like that type of character. He's a beast. He would be a Vanguard in Marvel Rivals. But he's immensely strong, yet very agile. Sort of like a cat, he'll always land on his feet. Speaking of his feet, he actually has hoofed legs, like a horse, sort of like Darkchild. And that's really just the source of his power. His feet are so powerful that he could send shock waves. So powerful that they could even go up to 7.5 to 9.5 on the Richter scale, which is like an earthquake. And a 7.5 earthquake is like immensely powerful. With that, he has immense durability, and like I said, he's a military strategist, as he's the military leader of the Inhumans. And this minifigure, it actually didn't come with the legs. I actually made the hoofed legs, which I think came out so perfect with the brown, and his hoofs are black. But it just looks so good, so comic book accurate. The minifigure itself is perfectly printed. It just looks great. It even came with the little cowl that he wears. So awesome to have Gorgon in LEGO form with his hoofed legs. I'm just so happy with how this turned out. And yeah, let's move on to the next Inhuman. And up next, we have Crystal. And Crystal is actually the sister of Queen Medusa, who we'll see in a bit. And her powers are really cool. She has elemental power. She could control and manipulate air, earth, fire, and water individually or in combinations. That's why when she fights in the comics, it's just drawn so awesomely how her powers are used. But pretty simple. That's pretty much all straight up all about her powers and everything. Which, like I'm saying, simple. Elemental powers is like insane. So Very, very cool, very different among the other Inhumans. This minifigure is just so good. The yellow iconic outfit that she wears with the blue and red, so good. I also love the face print as well, and the arms and the legs pretty bare, but she gets this awesome design on her hair, which is straight out of the comics. So awesome looking. That's exactly how her hair looks in the comics. Just so comic book accurate. Awesome minifigure. I also have the orange and blue power blast because she has elemental powers. Just so awesome. And in fact, you might have saw it in my duos, Crystal actually gets married to Ronan in the comics. So very just funny fact there. But yeah, that is Crystal. So let's move on to the next Inhuman. And I literally was just talking about her. Up next, we have Queen Medusa herself. Obviously, Queen of the Inhumans, married to Black Bolt. One of the most iconic couples in the Marvel Universe. Her main power is actually really unique, to be honest. She has prehensile hair. Oh yes. Her hair is actually tougher than steel and can grow and shape however she needs it to. So, like I said, been making a lot of comparisons to other Marvel characters. Honestly, her hair is like how Venom uses his Venom and Carnage use their tendrils. Sort of like that. That's not sort of. It's exactly like that. Except she's not a symbiote. So very cool. She also has telekinetic power. She could read. She could sort of like Charles Xavier, but not as powerful as him at all. And she can't like control people with her mind, but she could talk to people through her mind and through their minds, and she could also hear people's minds. You know what I mean by telekinetic powers. Not Professor X in any sort of way, but like that's just like another little added power of hers, which just makes her that much more powerful. Because she also has superhuman strength, speed, stamina, and durability, and a lot of Inhumans actually could be really heavily affected by human pollutants. She's actually immune to all of them, so that just makes her that much more powerful, that much more no joke, and rightfully so is why she is the queen of the Inhumans. The minifigure, this is the one thing I have an issue with the minifigure. Like, it's fantastic. I'm not knocking it. But, like, she has prehensile hair. So I was just trying to think of how I was going to do that because I can't sort of attach, like, a neck bracket to the back. So, like, I don't know how I'm going to show that off. I really haven't figured that out yet. But going back to just the minifigure, it is so good. Honestly, I might think it's, like, the best out of the batch, to be honest. It is just so comic book accurate. It looks exactly how she looks in the comics, with sort of the mask she wears on her face, the purple suit, the M in the middle. It is so perfect. Leg printing, toe printing. I'm saying that like all these minifigures aren't perfect. Engineerio.com really just does such a good job with these Marvel Comics characters in LEGO minifigure form. So awesome. So happy to have her in LEGO. But up next, we have the king himself. Blackagar Boltigan, aka Black Bolt, king of the Inhumans, the most iconic Inhuman, one of the most powerful Marvel superheroes in the entire Marvel universe. Yeah, his powers, most of you may know what his powers are. His voice. His voice is so powerful that he could kill someone with a whisper. It's called his sonic scream, is what his voice is referred to as. And at full strength, his scream is equivalent to the power of a nuclear weapon. That is how insanely powerful his voice is. With that being said, he has immense mental fortitude, because with that voice, he could obviously kill anyone that he cares for. which is, I'm going to go into a little bit of a rant. He shows up in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness and freaks out because Wanda takes away his mouth. That is so clown worthy of the people who wrote that into that movie. I've seen Black Bolt in the comics be tortured, literally have his son, like the Skrulls literally are threatening to kill his son, and he doesn't utter a single sound. Like, Black Bolt from the comics, if Wanda took his mouth away, would have fought till he figured out a way to get his mouth back. It wouldn't have been a problem for him at all. Sorry to rant, but Black Bolt is like one of the most mentally like sound people in the Marvel universe. Yeah, his scream is just insane. He also has superhuman strength, speed, stamina, durability, and this is what makes him that much more crazy, because he could actually enhance all of his superhuman strength, speed, and abilities with using his power inward towards his body. He could actually make his punches more powerful. He actually sort of has a devastating one punch, sort of like One Punch Man, called the Master Blow, that he could give to someone. He's just an insanely powerful character. He could also concentrate electrons and make them into anti-electrons, which gives him the ability to fly. And he could fly up to speeds of 500 miles per hour, and also create force fields around himself and fry and jam technology. It's like Black Bolt is, that's why I said, one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel Universe. This minifigure is so awesome. Really reminds me of the Black Bolt in the LEGO Marvel Superheroes games. So perfectly printed. His iconic suit. Got the fork on top of his head as well. So awesome. Leg printing, arm printing. It is just such a great minifigure. The back printing is so good as well. Just so awesome to have Black Bolt in LEGO minifigure form. He's an iconic Marvel character. He's a part of the Illuminati, one of the key members of the Illuminati. So I'm just so happy to finally have him in LEGO minifigure form. And with that being said, that is the end of the review. So let's go to the final lineup. And there they all are. So awesome. These customs are fantastic. I actually have the card this time. Engineerio.com. This is where I've been getting a lot of these comic book characters in LEGO minifigure form. The highest quality customs I have ever purchased. And as you guys know, I have a lot of customs from a lot of different people. Engineerio.com. It's just so awesome because if you guys know me, I'm a huge Marvel fan. I love just expanding my Marvel universe in LEGO. I honestly think, self-proclaiming this, but I think I have one of the most complete LEGO Marvel universes out of any YouTube channel, out of any LEGO Marvel YouTube channel on this entire platform, and it's just been so fun. It's so cool to have the Inhumans in LEGO minifigure form. Who knows, we might actually get them officially in LEGO somewhere down the line, but who knows, if not, as you know, Joe Clone has them. We got them. As you know, I'm just a simple man trying to make my way in the universe, and I thank you for joining me on the journey. This was a LEGO Marvel Team Minifigure review. I'll see you in the next one, and peace.